everyone, this is Dawn. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make a quick card using the Stitched Together Scrapbooking Stamp and Thin Cut set. So this is the set, and I'm going to use the thin cut that is the embroidery hoop and the background, and then I'm going to stamp the sentiment in the middle. So I'm going to use a variety of papers from the Stitched Together collection, and I'm measuring out how large this background piece is for the hoop, so I know how much paper I'll need. So I'm going to use this, I think it's Glacier with dots on it, pattern paper, and I'm going to use the sentiment. I looked up my symptoms, turns out I need to craft. So I'm lining those stamps up on my block, and it's a new set, so I need to season the stamp, and I'm just rubbing it with a microfiber cloth, and then I'm going to stamp it off on scratch paper a couple of times. And I want to make sure that I center it in the middle of this circle, so I'm figuring out where I should stamp. And then I'm going to ink up my stamp and stamp it down in black ink. And once I got my image stamped, I looked at the word craft and I got it on my block just a little bit wonky. So I'm going to straighten it out and have another go at it. All right, that's better. It's hard to see on film here, but it's I noticed it, so I feel better doing it again. So now I'm going to cut it out using the thin cut with my Big Shot. And then I got some of this UV coated paper from the Blue Skies collection, and it's in candy apple, and then I'm going to cut the embroidery hoop out with that. And there's a tiny little pin thin cut to add to the embroidery hoop, and I'm going to cut that out with gold foil. And it's teensy tiny, but super cute. So, okay, now let's build our card and figure things out here. So I'm going to use this candy apple paper from Stitched Together, and that is going to be the base of my card, and I'm cutting it at an A2 size. And then I'm going to use a panel of this quilted paper, also from Stitched Together. And first I cut that at 5 by 3 3/4, but I decided I wanted a little bit more of that red paper to show, so I trimmed off a 1/4 inch off of each side. We're getting there. And then I thought I would use some of these stickers from the Stitched Together collection, so I'm just kind of letting them hang out there while I'm looking at things. And I decided that I needed something to anchor the stickers on, so I got this velvet ribbon. It's black velvet ribbon. I thought I would try using that, and then make like a cluster of stickers around that. So my quilted panel, it wasn't quite popping enough, and since I'm using that velvet ribbon, it's very thick, so I knew that I was going to need to pop that panel, so I wanted to give it a base, and so I cut a panel of black cardstock just a smidge larger, just so that it would hold up better once I popped it. And then the black gave it a little more definition. So I'm gluing the background, the base to my card. It's a side folding A2 size card. I'm gluing it with bonding memories. And then I'm going to glue the quilted paper to my black panel. And then before I glue the black panel to the card, I'm going to put my velvet ribbon down. And I found, this is the first time I've used it, I found it's a bit fussy, so have patience. The glue dots don't, they were arguing with me. They didn't want to stick. And so I had to work with it quite a bit to get it to cooperate, as you can see, but I made it work. Okay, so because that velvet ribbon is so thick, I wanted to even things out once I put my foam, my craft foam down. So I'm cutting my craft foam down to make room for those two ends of the ribbon. So I just kind of puzzled things together so that once I get it laid down on my card, it will all be one level and even, if that makes sense. All right, so now it's all laying evenly down on my card. And I'm just setting a block on top of it so that it can set up with the glue. Now I'm taking some Tombow Aqua glue that I've decanted into this fine tip decanter applicator. It's from Doris. I got them off Amazon. And I'm going to glue the hoop to the background, my sentiment. And then I'll glue the sentiment to the front of the card. So when you look at this stamp set, you think that the only thing you can do with it is make scrapbook pages because it doesn't really have card sentiments. But you'll see at the end, I stamped inside my card as well to turn this into a card. So now I'm attaching that little pin that goes on the hoop. And off camera, I realized that instead of putting it on top of those two ends, I should have tucked it under. So I did that, and you'll see that in the still pictures at the end. So now I'm just adding my stickers and making kind of a little floral cluster. And that yellow flower, once I put it on the velvet ribbon, the ends were kind of wonky. So I took some thin foam tape and tucked it under each side so that it too would lay flat and not just kind of be hanging out on top of that ribbon there. And I'm just kind of tucking in some flowers and scattering them around, figuring out what looks right and where things should go. And then off camera, I decided that the yellow flower needed a little extra bling, so I added 3 little bitty sparkle gems to it as well. So I'll have some pictures at the end. So all of these supplies are available on my website, and the URL is in the upper right corner. And this is the finished card. And then in a second, I'll show you what I did inside to make it a greeting card. Together with you, and then I used that row of crafty items at the bottom. So I hope you give this project a try. I like the stamp set. It's cute. I appreciate you watching my video today. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe, and thanks for watching.